Welcome back, everybody. Folks, my next guest tonight is an actor you know from Heavenly Creatures, Mrs. America, and The Last of Us. She returns to star in the 3rd season of Yellowjackets.
If I died tomorrow, what would people say at my funeral?
We'd lie and say nice things.
I mean, normal people. Here lies Shauna Sadecki. Besides whatever the hell she did out there, she was the worst wife and mother on the planet.
Hey, come on.
She's survived by a messed up daughter and a husband who blossomed after her death.
Here lies Thaisa Turner, the first state senator to impeach herself before taking office.
Knock it off, both of you. Just no one's dying tomorrow. So I feel like we still have time to workshop our eulogies before we all reconvene in hell.
Please welcome to The Late Show, Melanie Lynskey. So nice to have you on.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me. I'm so excited and I'm very nervous.
Oh, there's no need. There's no need. There's no need. I love Kiwis. I love your home country of New Zealand.
Thank
you. Born and raised there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in like Auckland, Wellington, little town.
I grew up in New Plymouth, which is on the west coast of the North Island. It's quite provincial.
So small little town.
It's a small town.
Was
yeah.
it? I love it. It seems like well, it's got all like the technology of the modern world you want. It seems like a throwback as a country. It seems like still very pioneery. People look out for each other. Is it as idyllic of a childhood as I would imagine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm raising my daughter in Los Angeles, which is so different. Sometimes I think about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was walking to school. My best friend growing up had a job when she was 7, which was locking the gates of the park at nightfall. Like, it was so safe, we just were never worried about anything. It was just like so safe, and we were always
so the kids could just go play.
Play. When I was like 8, my mother did give me like the stranger danger talk, which kind of came out. She was just like, be careful because strangers try to pick up children, and you have to not ever get in the car with someone if you don't know them. So I was like, okay, got it. It was the first time I'd heard about like potential dangers.
Right.
And I took it I was a serious child.
People come along and say, it's okay.
And she was like, even if they say they know your parents, I was like, oh my gosh, it was a responsible thing for her to be telling me. And then the next day I was walking home from school and this car pulled up alongside me and I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, it's happening the very next day. And this lady rolled down the window and she was like, Melanie, I'm a friend of your mother's. And I was just like, oh my God. And I said, no, thank you. And I was just walking as quick as I could. And I walked all the way home with this car tailing me, just almost in tears.
Yes.
And I got inside and no one was home. And then my mother said, I sent my friend Victoria to pick you up from school and you were so rude. You ignored Victoria, poor Victoria. And I'd never met this lady before. Yeah. So...
Mixed messages.
It was mixed messages. It was confusing. I thought she was dangerous, but she wasn't.
Last year marked 30 years since your film debut.
Yes.
In Peter Jackson's Heavenly Creatures.
Aww.
Okay, there you are with Kate Winslet right there. Because 30 years, I know Peter a little bit. What was he like to work with back then?
Oh my gosh, he was so fun. He was like kind of like a sweet, kind film nerd dad energy for us. Like he was so caring, so loving.
Here he is. Here's baby Peter Jackson.
Baby Peter Jackson.
There's baby Peter Jackson.
Oh my
right
gosh.
There, like that.
So I just have the happiest memories.
And how old are you guys here?
I'm 15 and Kate's 17. Wow. Like we were so little, and he really tried to make it special. Like we wrapped filming and we took a road trip, Kate and Peter and I, just the 3 of us, and drove up the South Island and then took a ferry across to the North Island, just so we could have that time together and do something special. And it just was like taking a trip with your dad. Like we watched The Bodyguard on the ferry. He was like, what the hell is this? And then he fell asleep.
What's the New Zealand film community like? Do you guys all know each other?
I don't think everyone knows each other. I went to university with a lot of people who ended up having very interesting careers, like Brett and Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords and Taika Waititi, and so we all sort of went to university together, and so I've known that, like, I went to the earliest Flight of the Conchords shows, and I was like, they're so good, but the feeling of, like, Brett and Jermaine got an HBO show, like, Taika won an Oscar. Like, it's so mind-blowing, people you've known since they were teenagers. And
Just getting back to being a teenager, so when you finished this film, you're 15. Did you just go back to high school?
Yes. It was like being awoken from a great dream. It was like someone being like, wake up. And I was like, oh, God, New Plymouth Girls High School.
Well, all girls?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 That's rough.
It was rough.
Girls are tough.
Yeah, I mean, I had my lovely group of friends who were so excited for me.
Yes.
But it was very weird. It was a strange time, and then the film was released, so I was going, like, I came to New York with Kate to do publicity, and then had to go back and do my English exam, and then I went to the Venice Film Festival, and I was at a dinner with Quentin Tarantino, and then it's like, oh, that paper was late. It was so, like, you know.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Melanie Lynskey, everybody. Stick around.